You don't get to call me crazy after you created me. You wanted an angel, but you broke every wing. Now you don't like the monster standing where I used to kneel. I gave you patience wrapped in gold, held my fire so you felt bold. Carry stones inside my chest so you could call yourself the best. You love me quiet, love me small, love me when I took the fall. But power shifts when silence ends, and angels don't pretend. You clipped my wings and called it love. Fed me less and took enough. Thought I'd bleed and stay the same. Now you're choking on my name. You kept pushing at my limit, testing what I tolerate. Now you're staring at the difference and you're calling in my face. Now I'm your antagonist, so you lift your chest. You made me dangerous, now lift with. You wanted heaven, you wanted heat, you wanted pressure, you built a beast. Now I'm the villain in your story. Ooh, but I love me more than you adore me. Ooh, say, you made me hate. You like control disguised as care, like me loyal unaware. Confuse my peace with being weak. Now I speak, I don't compete. You miss the girl that overgave, you miss the easy version safe. But queens don't beg for broken crowns, they burn the throne and build their own. You say I changed, but look again, I just stopped trying to defend the girl who thought you'd understand. Now I stand. You fed the ego, starved the heart, pull my world apart. Now you're shocked I walk away, like I'm the one who strayed. Now I'm your antagonist, say it with your chest. You made me dangerous, now live with it. You wanted heaven, you wanted heat, you wanted pressure, you built the beast. Now I'm the villain in your story. Ooh, but I love me more than you adore me. Ooh, say it. Changed. You hate you lost control. You don't miss who I was, you miss how I made you whole. I didn't turn evil, I turned away. There's a difference. Now I'm your antagonist, say it with your chest. You made me dangerous, now live. You wanted heaven, you wanted heat, you wanted pressure, you built a beast. Now I'm the villain in your story. Ooh, but I love me more than you adore me. Ooh, say it. You wanted an angel, you broke every wing. You wear my name like a tailored suit, cut to fit, sharp absolute. You like me softer off the rack, loose edges easy to unpack, but pressure makes a different thread. And now I'm custom in your head. You shaped me once to fit your frame, trim my fire, called it tame, But fabric learns the hands that pull. And I don't wrinkle, I don't fold. You say I changed, I tailored up. Clean lines, no loose love. You wanted power, dressed in grace. Now I wear it on my face. You like control stitched into care. Like me small and unaware. Now I'm cut from sharper cloth. And baby, I don't come off. You wear my love like a tailored suit. Cut to fit but never loose. You wanted fire, wanted proof. Now you look better in the truth. Tailored suit, pressed and clean. You built the woman that you see. Now I move custom, not confused. You wear my love like a tailored suit. The girl that bent the seams, the one who blurred your in-between. But I refined the silhouette and now I don't regret. You like devotion, blind and neat. But queens don't measure blinding feet. You cut too deep, you pull too tight. Now I fit different in this light. You say I'm distant, I'm defined. Every stitch is by design. I'm not colder, I'm aligned. Precision never lies. You like the version you could guide. The softer edge, the smaller side. Now I'm structured still inside. And you're surprised. You wear my love like a tailored suit. Cut to fit but never loose. You wanted fire, wanted proof. Now you look better in the truth. Tailored suit, pressed and clean. You built the woman that you see. Now I move custom, not confused. You wear my love like a tailored suit. Thought I'd stay, but fabric remembers every blade. You stitched your ego into my skin. Now I don't fit where I've been. You wear my love like a tailored suit. Cut to fit but never loose. You wanted fire, wanted proof. Now you look better in the truth. Tailored suit, pressed and clean. You built the woman that you see. Now I move custom, not confused. You wear my love like a tailored suit. Custom fit, no returns. You don't sleep the same since I left your side. You keep the lights on. You say it's nothing, you lie. I don't haunt you, I don't chase, but every quiet room repeats my face. Different body, same mistake. You try to bury me, I don't pray. You say you moved on, say you're fine. Then why you checking every time I sign online? You miss the danger in my calm. You miss the heat without the harm. You miss the edge without the fall. You miss the way I had it all. I'm your favorite nightmare. You don't want me, but I'm right there. In every silence, every stare. I'm your favorite nightmare. You close the door, I live upstairs. You say you're healed, but you're not repaired. I'm your favorite nightmare. You say she's safer, say she's sweet, but safe don't make your pulse skip beats. You like the risk inside of my skin. Now comfort feels paper thin. You miss the chaos wrapped in control. You miss the fire that made you whole. You don't miss me, be honest now. You miss the way I broke your calm. I'm your favorite nightmare. You don't want me, but I'm right there. Under your breath and your prayer. I'm your favorite nightmare. You don't hate me, you hate that I still move you. You don't fear me, you fear that no one else does what I do. I'm your favorite nightmare. You don't want me, but I'm right there. In your silence and your stare. You don't escape me, you care. I'm your favorite nightmare. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. You don't belong to me, but you don't belong to anyone else either. I don't chase, I don't beg, I don't compete, but I don't share. You say we're grown, say we're free, then why you still answer me? You like to wander, test the air, pretend I'm distant, but I'm still there. You wear my memory like skin. You let them touch you, but I stay in. You call it toxic, I call it truth. You want options, you want proof, but when the lights go low and slow, you come back to what you know. I get possessive, not loud, not reckless, just quiet, just setting your mind when the door closes. You're mine in the silence. You're mine when you pretend you don't want this. I don't raise my voice, don't raise attention. You say it's casual, temporary, but your pulse says necessary. You say it's nothing, say it's light, but you don't sleep the same at night. You don't fear me, you fear yourself. You don't want chains, you want the melt. You don't need labels, you don't need Hebrew, just need me when you tell the truth. I get possessive, not loud, not reckless, just quiet, just sit in your mind when the lights dim low. You're mine, your heartbeat slows your mind, even when you say you're not. I don't chase, I don't question. I don't need a title, I don't need a claim, I just need to hear it when you say my name. You don't belong to me, but you don't leave either. I get possessive, not loud, not reckless, just quiet, just certain I don't shout. You can talk to him, just don't look at him the way you look at me. You say it's harmless, you say it's light, but your body leans just right. You say I'm tripping, say I'm wrong, but your silence lasts too long. You don't cross lines, you blur them slow. You like the heat of almost no. You think I don't notice the shit in your tone. You think I don't feel when I'm not alone. Don't look at him like you look at me. Don't laugh that soft, don't lean that free. You can breathe, you can speak, but don't let him taste what's mine to keep. Don't look at him. You like attention, I like control. You like to test it, I take the whole. You say I'm jealous, it may be true, but you move different when I'm near you. You don't need touching to make it laugh. You just need seconds in the crowd. You say I'm calm, but I'm aware. I don't raise hell, I raise a stare. Don't look at him like you look at me. Don't soften up, don't set him free. You can talk, you can play, but don't give away what you give me. Don't look at him. You don't belong to me, but you don't belong to him either. Don't look at him like you look at me. You don't owe him that energy. You can wander, you can roam, you can roam, but your pose still answers home. Don't look at him. I taste like velvet, I move like Venom. You say I'm soft until I strike. You say I'm calm until I bite. You love the danger wrapped in lace. You love the calm before the quake. I don't scream, I don't want. I let you lean, then I transform. You like the risk when it's control. You like the heat without the cold. Velvet on your skin, Venom underneath. You say I'm heaven, but I don't play sweet. Velvet when I move, Venom when I speak. You don't want safe, you want me. Velvet, Venom. You say I'm dangerous, you stay anyway. You say it's reckless, but you don't walk away. You like the thrill of almost lost. You like the burn of love and bust. You don't want peace, you want the edge. You want the flow, want gentle. You don't want gentle, you want real. You want the rush, you can't conceive. Velvet on your skin, Venom underneath. You say I'm heaven, but I don't play sweet. Velvet when I move, Venom when I speak. You don't want safe, you want me. Velvet, Venom. You call it toxic, I call it honest. You call it danger, I call it promise. Velvet on your skin, Venom. had to call me crazy after you created me. You wanted an angel, but you broke every wing. You love me quiet, soft, obedient. You like me small, convenient. You like devotion without demand. You like control inside my hands. You fed the fire, then blamed the flame. You wrote the script and cursed my name. You like the tears when they were sweet. You like me kneeling at your feet. You built this monster slow and clean. Now you flinch at what you see. You carve the edge into my skin. Now you don't like who I've been. You made me like this. Don't look surprised. You lit the match. I am the fire you wanted. Heaven, you got the risk. You shaped the blade. Don't feel the kiss. You made me like this. You like my loyalty without the war. You like my love when it was blind. You like my heart without a spine. You like me bending at your will. Now I don't break, I hold it still. You say I changed, but you like the view. Silk on my voice, hands still cruel. You call me dangerous with that tone, but I didn't grow fangs alone. You trained the veins, now you tremble when I don't restrain. You made me like this. Don't look surprised. You built the edge inside my eyes. You wanted loyalty, tight and blind. Now I don't beg, I redefine. You made me like this. You like possession when it was sweet. You like the obsession and at your feet. You like the worship, you like control. You like me needing you to feel whole. Now I don't tremble, now I don't bleed. Now I don't shrink to make you leave. You say I'm colder, say I'm cruel, but you built this rule. You don't miss who I was, you miss the power you had because I didn't know what I was worth. You made me like this, say it out loud. You made me like this, say it out loud. You love me broken, you love me proud. You made the storm, you can't dismiss. You don't get to run from this. You made me like this. You wanted an angel, you wanted grace. You wanted worship without a trace of strength. You wanted light that never burned. You wanted love that never learned. Now I stand where I used to kneel, and now it's real. You made me like this. Don't act confused. You built the weapon that you use. You built the weapon in my kiss. You don't get to fear what you build like this. You made me like this. You call me a mistake, funny. You keep repeating me. You like your lesson, red and silk. You like your danger, served with guilt. You say I cost you peace of mind, but you spend your time on mine. You say I ruin what you built, but you still crave the way I feel. You call it chaos, call it wrong, but you replay me in every song. You say I'm bad, You say I'm trouble, but safe don't make your pulse double. I'm your expensive mistake. You pay for me twice. You say you regret it, but you love the price. I'm your expensive mistake. Luxury sin. You don't want heaven, you want me again. Expensive mistake. Expensive mistake. You like to brag that you moved on, but you still search when I'm gone. You say I damage your control, but you still miss how I take your soul. You call me reckless, call me fire, but you don't pray for something quieter. You say I drain, you say I bruise, but you hate to win if it means you lose me. You don't want peace, you want a storm. You don't want safe, you want me warm. I'm your expensive mistake. You pay for me twice. You swear you regret it, but you love the fights. I'm your expensive mistake. Love a disguise. You don't want heaven, you want the highs. Expensive mistake. You regret that I said you regret it. You don't regret me. You regret that I see through you. You don't hate me. You hate that I move you. I'm your expensive mistake. You signed the check. You say I'm poison, but I'm your best effect. I'm your expensive mistake. Say it plain. You don't feel love, you feel the flame. Expensive mistake. Expensive mistake. You touch me once, it's never just once. You say it's simple, say it's light, but your hands don't act polite. You say it's casual, say it's clean, but you don't move like you're between. One kiss, you lose control. One glance, you lose your role. You think it's more, you think it's safe, but every spark has weight. It's a chain reaction. One touch collapse, one breath distraction. No turning back. It's a chain reaction. You pull, I pull, one spark explosion, no half full. Chain reaction. Chain reaction. You say it's nothing, but your voice shakes. You say it's fine, but your heartbeat breaks. You say you leave, but you don't move. You say it's over, but you don't prove it. You say you're strong, say you're in control, but you don't like when I take the whole. You think desire comes in parts, but you don't play with half a heart. It's a chain reaction. One look collapse, one word distraction. No coming back. It's a chain reaction. You start, I finish, one spark ignition, no limits. So chain reaction. Chain reaction. You say you're scared, but you don't stop. You say it's wrong, but your body doesn't drop. You don't want safe, you want the It's a chain reaction. You light, I burn. You fall, I turn. It's a chain reaction. No breaks, no pause. You don't want love, you want. Cause chain reaction. Chain reaction. Chain reaction. You liked your power over my soul. You like me loyal, you like me small. You like the silence when you call. You build your throne on a borrowed flame. You build your pride on my last name. You called it love, you called it fate. But kings don't build on fear and weight. You ruled the room when I was near. When I disappear, king of nothing, all the control, still left with nothing. King of what? Say it loud, you wore the crown, I wore the crown. King of what? King of nothing, you had a queen, you had nothing. You like decisions without debate. You like the script you could take. You like devotion without demand. You like the world inside your hand. But borrowed power never stays, and fragile egos always break. You called me weak, you called me blind, but strength was mine the whole damn time. You don't miss love, you miss control. Don't miss me, you miss your role. King of what? King of nothing. All the thunder, still left with nothing. King of what? Hear it clear. You lost your power when I lost fear. King of what? King of nothing. You don't hate me, you hate the mirror. You don't fear loss, your fear is clearer. You don't miss her, you miss the girl who used to kneel, but I don't kneel anymore. King of nothing, all the shouting still meant nothing. King of what? Look at you, all that power without truth. King of what? King of nothing, you lost the throne when I stopped loving. King of nothing. I don't need permission. Hey. I give it. You like me humble, you like me quiet. You like me shrinking to keep you giant. You like the version that stayed unsure. You like my softness, insecure. But something shifted, something burned. I lost the fear, I learned my worth. You used to test me just to see. Now you don't even question me. You don't interrupt, you don't compete. You don't even cross your feet when I walk in. I'm reborn and untouchable. Different level, you don't approach unless I let you. I'm reborn untouchable. Say it clear, you don't speak Unless I'm near, I'm reborn. Unreachable, you don't move. Unless I signal. You like control when I was blind. You like your power over my mind. You like decisions made for me. You like the doubt that used to be. Now I decide what stays and goes. Now I dictate how this flows. Now I don't chase, I command. Now you understand. You love louder, you love smarter. You don't step forward, you wait for order. I'm reborn and untouchable. Feel the shift, you don't test, but you can live. I'm reborn untouchable. Look at me, you don't play unless I agree. Reborn untouchable. You didn't break me, untouchable. You didn't break me, untouchable. You didn't break me, untouchable. You didn't limit me. You celebrate me. You activated me. You didn't hand me. You elevated me. I don't kneel anymore. I'm reborn and untouchable. Crown steady. You don't reach unless I'm ready. I'm reborn untouchable. And it shows. You don't approach like you own me. I'm reborn. Untouchable. You got warm. Unless I said no. Untouchable. You like the tension in my head. You like the fact I had a choice. You like the tension in my stare. You like that I didn't play fair. You like the heat without the blame. You like the thrill without the name. You like the spark inside the dark. You like the bite without the mark. You like the way I never chased. You don't get to act misuse. You don't get to flip the script when you knew the risk. You knew what this was, don't rewrite it. You like the storm, you didn't fight it. You knew what this was, say it plain. You wanted fire, not champagne. You knew what this was, no disguise. You saw the truth inside my eyes. You knew what this was. You say it's toxic when it burns. You say it hurts when tables turn. You say I'm colder, say I change. But power shifts when roles rearrange. You like control when I was soft. You like the game when you call shots. You like the chaos when you felt safe. You like the edge you couldn't fake. But you can't contain. You don't miss love, you miss the kill. You don't miss peace, you miss the rush. You miss the part where I don't blush. You knew what this was, don't play shy. You like the fire when it's hot. You knew what this was, no excuse. You like the chaos when you chose. You knew what this was, own it now. You like the danger, take a bow. You knew what this was. You don't get to call me cool, you ask for dangerous. You don't get to call me cool. secret that I don't miss. You risk, you knew it this way. Say it loud. You knew what this was. Now I rise. You don't control, but you can't surprise. You knew what this was. No disguise. You like the edge, you like the bite. You knew what this was. Suffocate slowly. Feel me take the air. You don't want easy. You want rare. Suffocate slowly. Stay in place. You don't run from the space. Suffocate slowly. You say it's dangerous, say it's wrong, but you stay quiet way too long. You say you're strong, say you're steady, but your body says you're ready. When I lean in, you don't deny what's under skin. You don't pretend, you don't react, you don't step back. You don't want it, you want closeness, you don't want calm, you want focus. Suffocate slowly, let it sink. You don't want water, you want the brink. Suffocate slowly, feel it grow. You don't want fast, you want slow. Suffocate slowly. You don't need oxygen, you need tension. You don't need distance, you need intention. You don't need safe, you need close. You don't need light, you need both. Suffocate slowly, say my name. You don't want calm, you want flame. Suffocate slowly, don't pull away. You don't move unless I say. Suffocate slowly. Suffocate slowly. You like the thrill of being pursued. You like the tension to boost the mood. You like the text at 2 a.m. You like the hunger chasing you again. You like the mood like you're the prize. You like the ego in your eye. You like to test how far I'll bend. You like to see if I depend. But I don't know if I don't wait. If you hesitate too late. You're used to running, used to games, used to hearing someone say your name. like prayer. I don't chase, I attract. If you leave, don't look back. I don't chase, I don't plead. If you want me, match my speed. I don't chase. You like the power, maybe. You like someone who needs you daily. You like control when it's unclear. You like devotion mixed with fear. But I don't shrink to make you tall. I don't answer every call. You don't decide if I stay. I don't beg for space to play. You don't want easy. You don't want easy. You don't want easy. I don't chase, I elevate. You don't get to calculate. I don't chase, I don't wait. If you pause, close the gate. I don't chase. You think I run, I won't. You think I fold, I don't. I don't chase, I replace. You lose access to this space. See, I don't chase, I understand. If you want me, take a stand. I don't chase. Say my name slower. You don't get to rush me. You say it quick like it don't shake you, like it don't wake you in the dark. You say it like it don't break you, like it don't take you apart. But every time you pull it from your mouth, your voice gets lower, your breath gives out. You try to act like I'm just a sound, but I'm the echo you can't drown. Don't say it careless, don't say it clean. You don't call fire without feeling heat. If you're gonna speak it, feel the weight. Don't say my name unless you can take it. Say my name slower, let it fall, feel it break against these walls. Say my name slower. Don't you hide, you don't whisper power, you let it rise. Say my name slower, say it like it hurts, like you know I come first. You let me quiet, you let me small. You let me steady when you would fall. You let me easy to understand. You like control inside your hands. But now when you speak it, your voice don't lead it. Trembles different, it sounds like need. You don't say it like before. You say it like you want more. Oh, don't say it, say it. Don't say it fast. You don't rush what's built to last. If you want me, say it bold, say it like you can't let go. My name's slower, let it burn. You don't speak love, you let it turn. Say my survive it. You like me soft when I repent. You like the version that would pretend. You like the calm, you like the sweet. You like control beneath your feet. You like the quiet in my tone. You like the doubt that you had grown. You like the edge is smooth for you. You like the lie you thought was true. But pressure changes what it touches. Silence sharpens what it hushes. You didn't break me, you refined me. I don't shrink to fit your hand. I don't bow to understand. You don't cage what won't obey. You don't command what walks away. Untamed, no leash, no chain. Untamed, no guilt, no shame. Untamed, you don't restrain a hurricane. Untamed, untamed, you lit the spark, I brought the flame. You thought control was your design. You thought you shaped what once was mine. You thought you held the final say. You thought I'd never walk away. But strength grows quiet before it rises. Power shifts in small surprises. You don't hear it when it builds. You only feel it when it kills. Not me. The illusion. I don't apologize for what I am now. Untamed, no soft disguise. Untamed, no compromise. Untamed, you don't rewrite. You can't cry. Untamed, you don't contain what you can't name. Safe, you want it small, you want it quiet, in your control. You want it comfort, you want it tame. You want it silence, you build a flame. Say it clear. Untamed, I don't disappear. Untamed, I don't retreat. I don't kneel at your feet. Untamed, you made a spark. I became a storm. Untamed, untamed. City beneath me, glass walls go like skyline breathing in the night. You said I'd break, you said I'd fall. Now I'm the view above it all. Silk on skin, ice in glass. You thought your shadow would outlast. You thought your name would mark my throne. But I built this on my own. You don't get access past this door. You don't get answers anymore. You don't get close because you miss me. You get distance because you need me. 3 a.m. in the penthouse, you're not invited. 3 a.m. in the penthouse, I decided. 3 a.m. in the penthouse, city below. You don't rise here if I say no. 3 a.m. in the penthouse, you like me when I needed you, when my nights cold and ask you why. Now my silence costs too much. Now my presence ain't a crutch. Now when I look, I don't look back. Now when I move, I don't retreat. You don't knock unless I call. You don't climb unless I start. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. High above. You don't reach me just for love. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. Golden chrome, you don't enter what I own. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. 3 a.m. and why I'm on. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. City lights look different from the top. Voices sound smaller right when they drop. You said I never stand this tall. No, I don't answer when you call. You don't get the girl who used to wait. You don't get access to this gate. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. Say it clear. You don't reach me from down here. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. Remember this. You don't rise on what you miss. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. 3 a.m. in the penthouse. You don't touch me like you miss me. Glass in my fingers, ice in the room. You like me softer, I learned to consume. You like the warmth when I would fold. You like devotions of warm and gold. You like my silence when it forgave. You like the comfort that I gave. You like the version you could bend. You like the need that wouldn't end. But pressure chills the ones who burn. I stopped waiting for your turn. You say my name like it still fits. Like you still own what you once missed. But power shifts when silence grows. You don't get heat just because you froze. Cold hands, warm whiskey. You don't get close just because you miss me. Cold hands, no shaking now. You don't command what you don't allow. Cold hands, warm whiskey. Say it clear, you don't know me. You like the girl who needed heat, who waited quiet at your feet, who answered quick at every call, who stood steady when you fall. Now I don't want for broken pride. Now I don't soften just to slide. Now when you reach I don't reply. Now when you test I let it die. Now when you knock I don't unlock. Now when you stare I let it stop. You don't drink fire to stay safe. You don't see power and escape. You don't deserve the heat you see. You don't climb just because you weak. Cold hands, warm whiskey. You don't rewrite what you once risked me. Cold hands, look at me. You don't touch what you can't see. Cold hands, warm whiskey. Yeah. said I'd circle back around. You said I missed the way you sound. You said I couldn't lose my spark. You said I'd fear the quiet dark, but darkness built with light ignored. Silence sharpened like a sword. I didn't freeze, I crystallized. You didn't leave me, I realized. I don't burn for your return. I don't ache for what you learn. You don't step into the space. You don't replace what you erase. Say it slow, say it true. You don't reach what outgrew you. Cold hands, warm whiskey. You don't get close just because you miss me. Cold hands, say it clear. You don't belong up here. Cold hands, warm whiskey. You don't rise where I'm living. Cold hands, warm whiskey, yeah. I believed you. I believed in who you said you'd be. You spoke like growth was in your veins, like discipline ran through your name. You stood so sure inside your words. I saw a future in every verse. You painted pictures of stronger days, of steady hands, of wiser ways. You looked at me like you had plans. I saw the outline of a better man. I built my faith on what you showed me. I gave you trust like it was holy. But truth gets quiet when effort fades, and almost never makes a man. Now all that's left are echoes of a good man, a softer version of what you'll be again. Echoes of a good man. You almost rose, but almost never stands. Echoes of a good man. You had the tools, you had the mind, you had the strength. If you decide, you had the moment in your hand. You had the chance to be that man, but comfort whispered louder than truth. Pride held tighter than your proof. You chose the easier way to live. You chose the praise you didn't give. I didn't need perfection, I needed growth. I didn't need promises, I needed both. You could have risen if you tried, but comfort won over your pride. Now all that's left are echoes of a good man, close enough to touch my hand. Echoes of a good man. You almost stayed, but almost never can. Echoes of a good man. You thought love was a game of return. You thought I'd circle just to burn. You thought I'd linger in your doubt. You thought I'd never walk it out. But I don't stay where I outgrow. I don't beg for what I know. I don't wait for what won't rise. I don't repeat all goodbyes. You wanted fire without the flame. You wanted power without the name. Fade to black. That's how this ends. No encore, no pretend. Fade to black. No rewind. You lost access to this mind. Fade to black. You almost held it, almost grew. Almost stood like men should do. Almost rose above your fear. Almost kept me standing here. But almost never wins the